In Shadow of War, taking over a region requires planning, skill, and a whole lot of orcs. However, with the randomized nature of the Nemesis system and an army of captains to choose from, you'll want to dominate the right orcs for the job. Here are some of the best types of orcs to bring to a siege. After uncovering the details of the army in the region you're attacking, take a good look at the strengths and weaknesses of the captains. You'll find some are better off than others. You can view the characteristics of the defenders and their fortifications and check for their fears and vulnerabilities. Then, on your side, look for the captains that have elemental and skill bonuses that exploit the enemy's weaknesses, and ideally, have immunities to their strengths. The last thing you want is to begin an assault and have your team instantly die to fire spouts or cursed siege beasts, or flee at the sight of a Graug. If you do have to compromise, look for weaknesses that regular orcs rarely take advantage of, like executions and stealth. As you gain info on the army, you'll likely find a few epic and legendary captains among the others. These captains often have bonus traits that set them apart from regular enemies, with perks like increased damage, stronger gangs, or more resistant to elemental effects. Of course, they are sometimes offset by mortal weaknesses, so plan carefully and capture them if you can. Or if their strengths and weaknesses don't lend themselves well to attacking or defending fortresses, kill them instead to score some great loot. When setting up to attack a fortress, you'll find that depending on Talion's level, you'll only be able to bring so many assault leaders with you for the fight. If that's the case, why not make sure their bodyguards are your dominant orcs in disguise? Each of the war chiefs stationed at a fortress can have several bodyguards among the pool of captains in the army. While you can lure out the war chiefs and kill them to disable fortress defenses, which can definitely help later on, in the first few sieges, you might prefer manpower. You can do this in one of two ways. Dominate a captain who is already a war chief's bodyguard, or have a dominated captain prove himself in combat to become a bodyguard. The former method is pretty safe, but doesn't allow you to choose your assassin. The latter lets you choose exactly who you want to betray the war chief as you meet them in battle. But there's always a chance that your would-be infiltrator doesn't survive the trial. If he does, try picking a captain who can capitalize on the war chief's weakness, or get several captains to all pounce on him at once. If that's not enough, friends, you can also designate a captain to become your bodyguard and summon him at will during the siege. There's always the chance that the available Uruks and Olog captains in the region just don't meet your high standards. So what do you do then? There are a couple of options depending on how precise you want to be. The first and fastest method is to simply kill off the captains in the region and let new blood fill in the ranks. As time passes, there's a good chance new unknown captains will step in over the bodies of the fallen. However, sometimes this can take a while, as some orcs have a nasty habit of cheating death and gumming things up. The other method, if you don't like fun, is to visit the headhunter at the online market and purchase war chests that contain captains. The only catch is you won't know their exact strengths and weaknesses until after you've spent the coin. Don't want to spend real money? Don't have to. Silver war chests only cost in-game Mirian, and you can also gain gold coins for certain daily challenges, like assaulting an online fortress. Once you obtain a captain you like, insert him into the region you plan to raid. Just make sure there's room, or he'll have to duel someone for a spot. If you kill an enemy captain, the defending team loses a soldier. If you recruit them, they lose one and you gain one, tipping the scales further in your favor. Don't miss an opportunity to strengthen your army when you need it most. Also make sure you're reviving your downed captains. It's a lot easier than recruiting a new one. With these tips, you should be conquering regions with ease. If you have any more tips, make sure to let us know in the comments below. And for more on Middle-earth Shadow of War, make sure you check out our review of the game, our graphics comparison, and the opening moments of the story. And for everything else, make sure you stick with IGN.